sing this next song about anything at all.
Welcome, any and all, to the Thursday edition of Dreaming in Paradox. I'm your host, John Olson.
And I'm your host, Jose Venutolo.
And joining us once again is Caroline Mariko Stucky. So on Thursday, we have a tradition here on the show where we attempt to randomly decide whose topic goes first between mine and Jose.
Correct.
So we play a little game called Odds or Evens. For those who don't know, we throw out 1, 2, or 0. One of us calls odds or evens. Mm-hmm. And if you win, you pick the order of the topics.
Excellent.
0 goes again.
Yeah.
If there's 2 zeros.
Yes, correct.
You picked last time. I'll go odds.
Odds.
I win. So I'll go first. I'll give you Friday.
Excellent. It's going to be my choice.
I know you like Friday anyway.
I do. I like Fridays. Everybody likes Fridays.
So today we're going to have a nice, I assume, light topic.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned to me that you're a fan of Miyazaki films. Clearly.
Yes, clearly.
Oh, what are the odds?
What are the odds? Oh, completely not planned.
We don't tailor.
No.
These
What?
I wear this every day, that's why.
Every single day. So the question for today's topic is, what is your favorite Miyazaki film? We're just going to dive in a little.
Yes.
Hayao Miyazaki has made a lot. He's made a lot of films. He's kind of the Disney of Japan.
Yes.
Some say
he is.
There are plenty of differences, obviously.
There's a museum in Tokyo.
There's a
museum?
Studio museum.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's kind of a Disney, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they shut it down.
Oh, they shut it down?
They shut down Studio Ghibli shortly after he retired.
Is he
They
coming
announced-
back? I heard rumors that he was
I
coming
know
back
he's
from
got
retirement.
other projects that he's on board with, but I don't think he's doing feature animations anymore.
Oh, okay.
Is he the owner of Ghibli? Was he the
I
owner?
think
he's a founder.
Yeah.
He's the founder of Ghibli.
I don't know if I don't know in terms of if he owned it or not. If you've got some information you can lay on us.
I mean, he's 74 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
But he was certainly one of the founding members. There's been a couple of other Studio Ghiblis that aren't Miyazaki,
Yeah,
but
he might produce them. But
far and away he's got the most.
yeah, the most
There's-
famous or internationally famous ones.
Well, there's like the something about fireflies.
Oh yeah, the tombeau, le tombeau des lucioles in French. How do you say the grave?
Oh,
The-
graveyard?
Yeah, the.
Oh,
Maybe you can find
gravestone.
Wait, what are you?
it.
Which one?
Yeah, you
The
looking at
Tra-
Ghibli?
Grave of the Fireflies? Is his?
Grave? Is it the grave?
No, that's Studio Ghibli, but that one's not his.
Not his.
It's one of the there's like 3 or 4 that they've done
Yeah.
that aren't his.
Are you talking about the one that is like with
It's
the 2 kids and the atomic bomb that the
Yes.
mother is called the Grave of the Fireflies.
Grave of the
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 Fireflies.
Great 1984 or something like that. It's a beautiful, it's an incredible film, but it's like you see
gonna
animation,
cry.
you see animation, you think it's chilled. No, it's a very serious topic.
Yeah.
Grave
And
of the
Miyazaki
Fireflies.
is cool in that he's got both movies for kids and movies for adults.
Yes, he does.
Um,
He touches on all kinds of
I
subjects.
haven't seen them all by probably a long shot. But I've seen, let's see, I'll just kind of list out the ones I've seen.
Yeah.
So I've seen My Neighbor Totoro. We got Totoro here in the house. Totoro's in the house. We should get like a matching Totoro for your side. I've seen, a long time ago, I saw Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. I remember that one the least.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it visually, certain scenes kind of stand out, but I don't remember it super well. Definitely seen Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. I feel like I'm missing something.
Did you watch Kiki's Delivery Service?
I did.
I've seen I've seen about half of it. I forget why I didn't catch the second half. Because they're short, so you'd think I
Yeah,
would
they're
have.
not so long, yeah.
Yeah. but I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen like the beginning of it. And I haven't seen it. I really wanted to see his more recent ones, and I just haven't kind of gotten around to it. You saw
one?
like The Wind Rises?
Yes, I loved it.
But it also rises?
It was The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises, and it was it's kind of biopic. Have you seen it, The Wind Rises?
So no, that's the thing is I haven't seen the last.
Yeah, and I haven't seen When Marnie Was There.
I saw that one,
final.
but that's not I think that's his son.
No, it's his final film, isn't it?
Which one?
When Marnie was there?
When Marnie was there, I'll tell you. Writer.
What's his last?
It's, I'm gonna look for his last directorial film. But I saw both of those. The years. Oh no, The Wind Rises is his last one.
Is the last one,
Yeah.
or-
It's the last one.
Yeah.
When
The Wind Rises.
Marnie was there, I think it's his son actually that
You sure?
the director. I don't know.
Because I know his son did The Earthsea, right?
Yes.
What was it? Was it Tales of Earthsea?
When Marnie was there, which I saw recently actually. It's Hiromasa Yonebayashi.
Because they gave his son like
Son.
a chance to do one.
Mhm.
Earthsea kind of didn't do very well.
Also, we were talking about The Grave of the Fireflies. It's not
Yeah, I know.
his.
That's what I was saying.
It's not his.
It's one of the few that's not his.
Uh,
I gotta say, I mean, I really do love Spirited Away a lot. It's a very beautiful movie. I like the sort of whimsicalness of it. It does have that terrifying scene where the parents turn into pigs,
Yes.
which is a spoiler alert. Probably spoilers for Miyazaki films. But it's kind of hard not to pick Princess Mononoke. It's a very adult film. It's
it's more,
it's more serious. And I think that's kind of why I like it a little better. And it's gorgeous. It's just front to back a gorgeous movie. All his movies are so pretty. He's got such a cool and fluid animation style. So I might go with Princess Mononoke. I want to watch it again. It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's been a while for me too, for Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, Spirited Away I've seen the most. I got kind of sick of it because when I was before I moved to New York, when I was in California, my niece and nephew used to come over. I was living with my dad and my stepmom at the time. They would come over and they would always put it on and then not watch it. So it was just like always on. They'd be like, we want to watch Spirited Away, and then they'd put it on, and then they just like get distracted and like wander off. I mean, I'm sure they loved it, but like it would just like constantly be on. I just got like sick of having it in the background, and sort of the kiddier elements started to grate on me after a while. But I love like how when it rains, it just like turns everything into the ocean. There's just such cool things going on in there. But Princess Mononoke it's kind of hardcore.
It is.
Um,
I need to watch it again. I definitely need to watch it again because it felt like I still do not understand like the complete plot.
it's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
so many layers.
yeah.
of-
There's layers. There's a lot going on, and it's a pretty long movie actually.
It is.
It's
For an animation, yes.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which is really rare for an animated movie.
You know, I wonder something. Maybe you can answer this, and I don't know. I'm just assuming, but there are a lot of subjects in Miyazaki films that deal with what I feel it's more of a common cultural knowledge in Japan. So Princess Mononoke, like Spirited Away, they capture our imagination because they're completely new to us. Like there is he's presenting a world
us,
that
it's
that feels exotic and feels completely original. And I wonder how original is that story for a Japanese audience? Is this something like when you see it, you go like, oh, she's going to the spirit world that we know of, or like it's part of our urban legend. So I'm just seeing the graphical representation of something that I know, or is this completely his take on something that is not bound to the Japanese culture?
So, I mean, I'm not a specialist and I'm a fan. I know, I love his movies. I think it's the both because they are very Japanese traditional style, where with Totoro, for example, which is more or less the period where my mom grew up.
Okay.
So it's very Japanese, and for a Japanese person, you can relate to it very, very much. the environment, the story.
Just rural Japan.
It's really like Japan, but there are a lot of Miyazaki movies that are very European. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes.
La Pietà, The Castle in the Sky.
Mhm.
Did you watch this one?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's also
I've seen it
one
too.
of my favorites. It's very European, and that for Japanese people, I think it's very exotic.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Howl's Moving Castle has a bit of a
Howl's
European
Moving Castle
flair
There's
to
too.
this
it.
one, these
Mhm.
two. So yeah, is that did I answer your question?
Well, what I want to let me rephrase in a certain sense. Like, is it when he talks about the spirit world, for example, in Spirited Away, she goes and she crosses into the spirit world, and to us, his representation of the spirit world is new and unique. To a Japanese audience, it's more. It's like, yes, that is how the spirit world has been always been told to me that it is,
Yeah.
or that a
Like
river
in America,
has a river has a spirit.
Like we
and-
have a certain way that we do ghost movies,
correct.
right? And there's like really common themes that pop up and again, and they're part of our culture. So I think it's sort of like, is his like that for Japan?
Yeah, I wonder if his films have a base layer on Japanese folklore.
But they're
Oh,
also,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
I feel like they're a little unique just in terms of their portrayal.
Okay.
Like, the art is sort of exotic from any angle you look at it. Like even just compared to other anime, because it is like there's such like what's the word I'm looking for? There's such care and like put into it, and like a lot of effort in those films. Like he doesn't try to like save. It doesn't ever look like he's cutting corners on anything. Like it's the highest quality possible, and just they're so colorful. And,
they are very colorful.
so I feel like even if it's sort of something that's they're used to, it's still like worth the visit just because of the portrayal of it. So
Exactly.
so vibrant.
It's a journey. It's an interesting journey. It's very imaginative. It's fresh, and then again, might be just the Western perspective that I'm not that familiar with the folklore. But then you said like yours is.
I think I'd go with Mononoke.
Mononoke. Which one
It's
would
close
be yours?
between those two.
Mine would be Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro.
Totoro's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun. The plot doesn't make any sense at all. It's
yeah,
just
it's
kind of
really
like
the
series of events,
imagination of a child, how a child perceives the new environment where they move in, and they imagine this forest where Totoro lives in, and also to escape from the fact that their mother is in the hospital. So I think because it's my mom, when I saw it, told me, oh, this is exactly the environment where I grew up in the countryside, and that's why maybe also is one of the other reasons that I love that, because I can kind of leave what my mom.
I love
grew up
how
with.
in that movie, and I think this is a theme kind of throughout, is like the adults just like don't even acknowledge sort of the craziness that's going on. Like the kids are having like these crazy adventures with Totoro and like just experiencing very magical things, and like some of them affect the environment that they're in. Like they grow those trees in the yard, and like then they're just there, and like the adults don't even acknowledge it. It's like there's whatever.
They
It's that magic of
pretend,
childhood.
They pretend they're like, oh yeah, the trees. I saw Totoro yesterday, and the dad is like, oh really, you saw Totoro? He knows he was a child once too. So
it's like that's the thing. His films, you don't know unless something really like unless like a red flag gets like raised. He dwells from reality into fantasy in such a seamless way that it takes a moment to understand. Oh, what I'm seeing it's a representation. As you say, like maybe the tree's always there, and then the kid is just imagining something. But it's the beauty in which he portrays the mix between these two worlds is so harmonious that you don't see
There's
the
a
line.
similar thing I love in Spirited Away, how the parents, when they come back at the end, they're like, "What the hell happened to the car?" They just have no recollection of any of it.
Exactly.
But it still has. It's like it still happened.
Yeah,
their car's just been sitting there.
Yeah. It keeps
like
you
collecting leaves and stuff. I always wondered,
It
like,
makes you
what
wonder.
happened with the stuff that they were... Because now when they're moving to a new house, I always kind of wonder, like, what happened to their stuff?
Yeah.
Like the movers got there and waited
Movers
for
go
them.
like I've been waiting for a week here. What the,
You guys
did
are
you
gone
go?
for a month. Where the heck were you?
Like, you know, is that guy they found in an island in the Pacific in like the 1980s or something like that? It was a Japanese soldier who never left his station.
What?
Yes, it's a true story. They found this guy on an island that was commissioned to go, you know, like back in like, you know, the Imperial Japan, and nobody told him the war was over, so he just lived there for like 20, 30 years.
Wow, he survived.
And then, you know, they gave him like a Medal of Honor, like he took him to Japan and making a hero. It's like you really defend, like that was a commitment.
That's
to
a
it.
dedication.
But that is like freaking, like, you know, after a certain point you start wondering, you go like,
Well, but you're on an
did
island.
somebody
what can you do?
what just happened? Did we win? No, that's the worst. Like if you just like they find you 30 years later, you go like, did we win? No.
But we're still around.
Oh my God, I'm laughing too loud. But anyway, I don't know. Like I feel like
You have a wonderful laugh.
Is
You
it
shouldn't
time?
feel
Is
bad
it time for mine?
Yeah,
You know, I am the only person that I know that likes Miyazaki films that have never seen Totoro. My sister is a fan. She lived in
I
Japan
only
for a
saw
year,
it-
but I've never seen Totoro.
I only
like,
saw it like this year or last year.
Like,
I
I
saw it
know him.
relatively recently.
like I see like I know who
No,
Totoro
yes,
is,
the
but I don't
logo.
know if it's a series of films, if it's just one film.
one film.
It's like, see, like I have the impression that it's a series of films.
Because it's so iconic.
Because it's the
It's the
logo,
logo.
of the Ghibli studio.
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
the other
maybe you
thing.
have the feeling it's.
Hmm I'm curious. I need to go and try to see it.
I
But
have
I've
the
seen.
DVD. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
perfect.
look
Then
into
it.
I will be
It's really
seeing
short.
it soon.
It's like an hour,
it's,
maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more maybe, but
Yeah.
less than an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty close to an hour, so it's...
I would have to say, and this is difficult. Of all that I have seen, my least favorite is Ponyo. For some reason, I never.
I
connected.
love Ponyo.
I never connected.
I
with
forgot
Ponyo.
about Ponyo.
I never connected with Ponyo. For some reason, it's like, I don't know, like maybe I didn't
In my
understand
opinion,
instead
it
of-
is the better telling of
Oh, really?
The Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
Because Ponyo is his version of The Little Mermaid. And I just like it better as a movie than Little Mermaid.
Interesting.
I think it's adorable.
I might need to give it another chance,
I
but
didn't like it.
You didn't like
but
it?
you didn't like it either.
You don't have to. You don't have to agree with
But
me.
you know, I've seen
I'm sure
seen
lots of
Lapida.
Disney fans don't agree with me.
I've seen Lapida. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen Nausicaa, Princess Mononoke. I've seen all these things. But the two that resonated with me for completely different reasons were Spirited Away, mostly because it was easy to follow in a way that even when I'm feeling that there is a cultural bridge that makes me not understand completely,
Yeah,
still was self-explanatory for me to say this is a spirited world, this is all a representation of nature or things, and
So you
it's
don't know what a bathhouse was?
and the social commentary, as you say, like the river spirit who was contaminated, and she just pulls
the
up-
nature themes are big throughout his film.
huge,
environment.
and beautifully portrayed, and they stay with
make
you.
you think,
They stay
yeah.
with you, and then you.
He's got some really good staples throughout his film. Like the nature one is one that he's really big on.
Yes.
But he's also got this thing where like he likes to have male and female character who aren't a romantic interest,
They're not.
which I think is something he kind of goes out of his way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He does it very intentionally, which is something that's interesting because he's like, just because there's a man and woman in a movie doesn't mean they need to be
yes.
romantically entwined. So he's putting out movies that have
Sometimes
examples of that.
I feel that sometimes, and this is the thing, and he has a tendency to have female protagonists.
Yeah.
And
He's got a lot of them.
And I always feel that the male counterpart, like, cause it's usually kids, but the male counterpart always feels a little androgynous. It feels like you can't tell if it's actually a boy or a girl. And then up until certain parts of the movie, like I have always that difficulty. Sometimes I don't know if he's portraying a girl or a boy, then they say the name or something, or she start doing, or he start doing something. But I always feel that there is some sort of androgynous element when he portrays a male character. But that's just my perception of it. The other
There
film,
might be something.
the other film that rivals with Spirited Away, it's this last one. It's like like The Wind Rises, and it's a biopic. Interesting enough, it's a biopic, but it's because it touches on a subject. It touches on subjects that are always.
Is it actual biopic? Is it like a straight?
It's a mixture. It speaks about a real person.
So it's like historical fiction.
It's historical fiction. And the two things that attracted me to this film, one of us is that it's World War II based. I mean, most of the film develops into.
When is it?
It's a journey between.
Is it during World War II?
It's a journey. No, it kind of ends on World War II,
okay.
but it journeys from feudal Japan, from like the ends of feudal Japan into the more modern war machine starting Japanese empire. And it's interesting to see how they're portrayed, how they how they do it. And the other
definitely
aspect
portrays war as a.
Yes,
it's a very negative thing.
It does.
Yeah, he's a pacifist.
It does, and it's interesting because this movie. It's about the man who designed the Zero planes.
Okay.
The whole movie is about him, but it's the part that makes me kind of tilt a little more towards this movie opposite to Spirited Away is the way that he portrays this man's imagination, because the film stars, and spoilers here. It starts with a kid
Don't
who dreams.
Don't spoil it too hardcore.
No, it starts.
I do want to watch it.
It basically starts with a kid in the late 1800s or the beginning 1900s in Japan, who lives in like what we would consider rural Japan, dreaming about flying and eventually becoming the head engineer of Japanese aviation and designing a plane that it's still an icon on Japanese aviation and on World War II, like becoming that kind of thing.
Very
and also
famous,
struggling, also during the film, struggling with the fact that I have this dream of flying and they're using it to kill. And then, but being trapped in that, I have no option. I need to, like, not only is a service to my country, it's also a service to myself. But it dwells into that, and it has a lot of it has a lot of scenes in which he meets his idols in dreams. And he shares the dreaming of flying, and there's a lot of Italian, there's a lot of German, there's a lot of it goes around the world, and I don't know, I feel it's beautiful, and it tells a love story. There's so many aspects, so much meat on it, and then you figure out, you go like, oh wow, by the end of it you go like, that's a Zero plane, what he designed.
We were gonna see it together at one point, and then we were like.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, for something
like
like our schedules didn't match.
I feel like it was like we were gonna have to wait 2 hours to see it.
Something like
that. It was
that.
already like really late.
Yeah, something like that.
So we just kind of passed on.
Something like that.
So then I missed it.
I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Like it is a biopic. It's not. It has the elements of magic that he does, but they are always oriented towards like a kid dreaming to becoming something else and actually achieving it, which is a beautiful, portray. He doesn't dwell into politics too much. His characters are very funny.
Out of it.
It's like it's really interesting.
Yeah.
You always have like the tall Japanese guy who is like very lean and he's an engineer, and then he has like the really short guy who's like very mild, like the mouth are like really, and he's always yelling, but he's like kind-hearted, and it's like you enjoy these things. And this is all real people. This is all portraits of imperial engineers or factory owners from history actually.
Okay.
It's all real people. It's interesting. It's like it will be fun to watch if you have a recollection of it.
So there's one that is not very popular for some reason. Is the Porco Rosso? Did you see it?
Porco Rosso, of course, yes.
It's also
Oh, but you need to watch Porco Rosso. I have. I'll give it to you.
Porco Rosso?
It's this pilot who got transformed in a pig, as a pig.
Okay.
Because
it's a curse, but I don't know why I don't remember why it started.
Because he didn't love somebody or something.
Something like that. It's something like it's.
But yeah, it's aviation too. It's.
He likes those themes. He likes the.
If you think about it, maybe in all of his. Beside Mononoke.
Yeah, he revisits themes.
Yeah, like flying.
His themes, like they come back and again and again.
But yeah,
flying's a big Spirited Away.
Even Spirited Away, she flies on the dragon. She flies on the.
Nausicaa, she's got like the flying machine.
Wind, and knows?
Laputa, the flying castle.
The planes and
Even in Howl's Moving Castle, there's flying. It's true.
Yeah, he
There's a
likes.
certain magic
even in
to flying.
Totoro.
Yeah. in
Like the
Totoro.
dream of flying, like probably everybody dreamt of flying once in their life, and that's
Yeah, absolutely. There's
or
it's
falling from really high.
the sky, man.
But you would like tell him
Something
about Porco
about-
Rosso. Porco Rosso is you would enjoy it. You would enjoy it, and it's
Also wartime.
It's World War One.
What
It's even
what
like-
happens once he's a pig?
Well,
what's
I
the
mean, like
gist?
I'm just like in a nutshell.
Yeah,
In a nutshell,
in a
there
nutshell.
is this pilot called Porco Rosso, which used to be a human being transformed into a pig. He has a secret kind of like island where he is kind of a freedom fighter, or you know, like there's air pirates. So there's a lot of air tourism in the south because all this takes place in Italy. All this takes place during the Amalfi Coast, like where Colin and I went, like during Positano, Salerno, which is all these mountain towns in the cliffs in Italy. So pirates usually go and steal from tourist ships, and then he's one of the guys who hunts the pirates and all the stuff, and people love him. But for some reason he has turned into a pig, and he has all these love interests of women that you know, like. But he's kind of like he's kind of Humphrey Bogart kind of character. He's like very, very stylistic, very you know, like there's a lot of smoking in these like cabarets and stuff, but it's like that kind of era. And eventually he befriends this girl, and then she changes him. She changes him, and then you know I can't tell you anymore because I'll be spoiling it. But it's very beautiful.
Has anyone seen his first, the Lupin, the third?
Oh, Lupin.
It's
It's
he
a
didn't do it, did he?
while.
This is his first movie.
Really?
Lupin,
Yeah,
Oh,
Lupin
really?
the third. Yeah, before he started doing his original stuff, he got hired
Do that?
to adapt.
Has he always done features? Wasn't he responsible for Heidi? Isn't he responsible
What's
for
Heidi?
Heidi? Heidi was it's a 1980s anime about Heidi.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was like I used to watch it when I was a kid. Like was like
I don't
you
know
know
if that's
a
him.
milestone.
I only know him from features. So I don't know.
I don't know. I felt that when Spirited Away came out, there was the rumor in Venezuela that he was the guy behind Heidi because Heidi is very inbound in Venezuelan culture. Because every kid my age or a little younger than me grew up with that, and then people were like, "Oh, it's a Japanese film. Oh, it has to be the same guy from Heidi." I don't know. It's like they all know each other.
It's just one guy who did everything.
Yeah, I'm just-
Of course, it's like you hear like these preconceptions. I don't know. I'll search. It might not have any relation at all. Should watch it though. It's a good TV series.
I know he was drawing for mangas, I think.
Oh, for mangas.
But before Studio
before he
Ghibli,
went into
to do his
animation.
own productions.
It makes sense. It seems like a good way to break in and get your style out.
Miyazaki. If you don't know him,
Yeah,
or
go
you
watch
have no
his-
idea what we're
Go
talking
watch
about,
his films.
go.
Watch them all.
It's a treat.
Yeah,
They're
it's
good.
Good for your heart.
It is good for
Spirited
your heart.
Away won an Oscar for Best Foreign Film
Yes.
the year it came out.
It did.
Um,
There's another.
it came up previously, so I just wanted to put that out there.
If you're a fan of Japan, for sure, like you should know him and,
Yeah.
and find out about Japan.
I feel like most people have seen at least one.
At least,
Yeah.
or a reference somewhere.
Yeah, it's a pity that he's retired.
Oh man, we need to force him out of retirement.
Yeah, he'll keep drawing, I'm sure, but we'll see what he does next. It'll be interesting.
He'll keep connected.
And a lot of people come out of retirement. So you
I
never
don't
know.
think-
There's gonna be
Yeah.
new Miyazaki's.
Yeah, a man like him, I don't see it being a person that
He'll draw till
that-
the day he dies.
Maybe he feels that he needed to retire, and then a couple of years later, maybe his wife's gonna be like, "You can't be home anymore.
Yeah.
You're so
I remember
annoying."
Stephen King
Wrong
retired.
work.
Stephen King retired and then came out with a book a year later.
There you go. There you go.
It happens. On this note, we will wrap up. Like our show if you like Miyazaki, or if you just like us. Share it on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and whatever else you're on. And subscribe. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have already, thank you so much. We enjoy your patronage and we hope you enjoy the show. You can find me on Twitter at John in Paradox.
I am at Caroline Mariko.
And I'm at Jose in Paradox. And in this note, friends from the future, invisible friends from the future, we say goodbye from the past.
Adios.
Sayonara.